I wasted 20 years drowning out the one voice that could have saved me, my own. And if you can't sit alone with yourself for 10 minutes without reaching for your phone, without needing a podcast, without filling the space with something, anything, this trail is about to expose exactly what you're running from. Because here's the truth that'll piss you off. Your addiction to noise is keeping you exactly where you are. You know what nobody tells you about getting your life together? The noise isn't your enemy. Your addiction to it is. Think about it. When's the last time you drove without music, ate without scrolling? Hell, most of us can't even take a dump without bringing some kind of entertainment. I'm an addict. 20 years active, 681 days choosing differently. I didn't drink to feel good. I drank to turn off the volume on my own thoughts, to not feel anything, especially in the quiet. These days, between the steel mill and these trails, between the noise of machinery and the silence of nature, I discovered something that successful people know and broken people avoid. Growth doesn't happen in the noise. It happens in the silence most of us are terrified to face. Today, on this peaceful trail in Michigan, I'm going to show you exactly why the quiet scares you, what it's trying to tell you, and how to stop finally running from the one conversation that matters, the one with yourself. 3 months before I got sober, I remember sitting in my apartment after work, TV blaring, music playing, scrolling through my phone, all at the same time. I told myself I was relaxing, but really, I was drowning out the noise in my head that kept asking, is this it? Is this all you're gonna be? You want to know something pathetic? I had 3 screens going. 3. Netflix on the TV, YouTube on the laptop, Facebook on my phone, creating this wall of noise so thick that not even a single thought could break through. Here's the embarrassing part I've never shared. At the end of my drinking years, I drank mostly so I didn't feel alone. I'd sit at bars, not even talking to anyone, just being there for noise. But the cosmic joke? My drinking is exactly what made me feel alone. Because when you can't stand your own company sober, you're never really with anyone. You're just next to them. You become a ghost at your own party. That night at 3 a.m., drunk and desperate, I sent myself a text. If you can't stay with yourself for 10 minutes tomorrow morning, completely sober, no distraction, you're not living. You're just existing. The next morning, hungover and shaking, I tried. I set a timer for 10 minutes. I couldn't do it. Made it 37 seconds before I grabbed my phone. 37 seconds. That's when I knew the quiet wasn't the problem. It was my solution, and I had been running from it for 20 years. Here's what every productivity guru gets wrong about morning routines and meditation apps. They're teaching you to fill the quiet with more noise, guided meditations, motivational podcasts. But what if the noise is the problem? Let me tell you 3 stories that changed everything. Early sobriety, I forced myself to sit quietly for 5 minutes every morning. Felt like it was on fire. Thoughts racing, anxiety spiking. Every mistake I'd ever made playing on repeat. But I didn't move because I realized those thoughts, they were always there. The booze and the noise just muted them. Over time, something shifted. Same 5 minutes. The thoughts were still there, but quieter. And underneath them, I heard something else. Not God, not the universe. I heard myself, the real me. The one I'd been drowning out for years. You know what he said? Welcome back. Eventually, I did something radical. Stopped all podcasts, all music during my commute to the mill. 35 minutes each way, just me and the quiet. My coworkers thought I was insane. What do you do for 35 minutes? Think. I actually think. That's when life changed. Ideas started flowing. Problems I've been avoiding suddenly had solutions. Because for the first time in decades, I gave my brain space to actually process life instead of just reacting to it. Here's a paradigm shift. Quiet is a multiplier. It makes you more of whatever you already are. If you're broken, yes, it'll amplify that at first. But if you're growing, if you're healing, it accelerates everything. The most successful people I know guard their quiet time like gold because they know something you don't. All the answers you're looking for in podcasts and books and other people's content, they're already in your head. You just can't hear them over all the noise. Look at this trail. Crosswinds Equestrian Trail. Wide, quiet, almost unsettling how peaceful it is. This is where Tenacious Tendencies was born. Right here, 9 miles of silence, just me and my thoughts. No music, no podcasts, Just footsteps on dirt and a brain finally quiet enough to hear what it has been trying to tell me. This entire channel, every episode, every story I've shared with you, started from one walk in the quiet, where I finally stopped running for myself long enough to listen. These trails were made for horses, and horses need quiet to stay sane. Put a horse in constant noise, and they'll literally lose their mind. But humans, we've convinced ourselves we're different, that we need constant input to be productive, to be happy, to be enough. That discomfort you just felt, that urge to skip ahead, that's exactly what I'm talking about. The quiet isn't empty, it's full. Full of everything you've been avoiding, everything you need to face, everything that's waiting to transform you. You know what I hear when I walk these trails in silence? I hear people's voices from the past telling me I'd never amount to anything. I hear every promise I've broken for myself, every lie I've told. But you know what else I hear? I hear my future self saying, keep going. I hear possibilities I never imagined when my head was full of other people's noise. The trees don't care about your excuses. Nature operates in cycles of sound and silence, and it's in the silence where everything grows. Alright, here's your homework, and 90% of you will make excuses about not having enough time. Tomorrow morning, before you do anything else, before coffee, before your phone, you're going to sit in complete silence for 10 minutes. No guided meditation, no music, no brown noise, just you and the quiet. Set a timer for 10 minutes, turn it face down and sit. Just be there with whatever comes up. And when your brain starts screaming at you to grab your phone, ask yourself, what am I so afraid of hearing? Write that down, because that's the thing that's been running your life from the shadows. Comment below, I'm sitting with it, if you're done using noise as Novocaine for your life. For those who can't do 10 minutes, start with 3. But if you can't give yourself 3 minutes of quiet, you don't have a time problem, you have a fear problem. You want to know the difference between people who transform and people who stay the same? The ones who transform learn to be friends with the quiet. The ones who stay stuck are still at war with it. Remember when I said I wasted 20 years drowning out my own voice? Turns out that voice was trying to tell me something all along. It wasn't judging me. It was trying to guide me home. Every relapse, it whispered, this isn't you anymore. Every toxic relationship, it said, you deserve better. Every time I settled for less, it reminded me, you're capable of more. But I couldn't hear it over the noise. Quiet isn't something to fear. It's where you finally stop performing and start transforming. It's where you stop being who you think you should be and start becoming who you actually are. 681 days ago, I couldn't sit with myself for 37 seconds. Today, I crave the quiet like I used to crave a drink. Because in the quiet, I found something I've been searching for in every bottle, every bar, and every wasted night. I found myself. Next week, we're talking about something that terrifies people in recovery more than relapse. How to tell people you don't drink without making it weird. Without the long explanations, without losing yourself in the process. Because here's the thing about finding yourself in the quiet. Once you know who you really are, you stop apologizing for it. Build the quiet, find yourself, stop apologizing. One tenacious tendency at a time.